Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, I'll be showing you guys the new secret unreleased weapons for Halo 1 that were recently added to the official mod tools for MCC. So, as you all know by now, MCC got a huge update recently, and the mod tools got a lot of new stuff across, well, a lot of the games. And for Halo 1, they got a lot of new Digsite content. A lot of cut content from the Digsite team, and I'm going to be showing it to you for this video. Now, before we get too far into it, I do want to mention that pretty much all these weapons are only visible in classic graphics. Some of them actually do show up in anniversary graphics, but they just show up as regular weapons, nothing different. So, anyways, let's start with the assault rifle. In fact, there's a lot of cut unreleased versions of the assault rifle. These are all early prototype versions of the assault rifle. This first one is the OOE3 version, probably the E3 2000 version. I assume that's what it means. And it's visually it's a little bit different, but functionally it's actually pretty cool. It has a secondary fire mode, which is a grenade launcher. This next one is the assault rifle 98 lens. I don't know what 98 lens is or what lens means, but it also has the grenade launcher secondary fire. I guess you could say this is the noob tube variant of the assault rifle. So Halo did it before Call of Duty did. Let it be known there. So anyways, next up we have this assault rifle here. Again, it's pretty much the same thing. All these assault rifles are pretty similar. They just visually are a little bit different in appearance, but functionally they're the same. They have the auto fire, and then they have the grenade launcher secondary fire. This next one is the 99 Mac version. Same thing, auto fire, and then grenade launcher secondary fire. The grenade launcher secondary fire is pretty powerful, I do want to point out. Well, really all explosives in Halo CE are really powerful and are like mini nukes, so to speak. Next up we have the Chaingun, and I do want to point out that a lot of these weapons are also in third person by default, so it's actually pretty interesting. Oh, I guess it makes sense because Halo was supposed to be a third person game originally, so that's probably what these weapons were meant for. But we do have the Chaingun here because we didn't have third person turrets until holdable turrets until Halo 3, so that's pretty cool there. Next up we have the concussion this rifle or gun here, and it's I'm guessing it's kind of like the prototype to the concussion rifle from Halo Reach, because it fires like an explosive shot, but it looks like a torque bow from Gears of War actually. But when you fire it on the ground or near you, the explosion, it doesn't damage you much, but it's more of the effect, it just sends you flying a little bit, kind of like the concussion rifle. Next up we have a usable energy sword, because I believe in the macro demo you were able to use the energy swords, so this is actually really cool because Halo 1 didn't actually have a usable energy sword. We didn't get one until Halo 2, really. Next up we have a weapon called the Excavator. And this one, well, see, fun fact, the Excavator was the Mauler in Halo 3. In the tag files, the Mauler was actually called an Excavator. And functionally, this weapon kind of works just like the Mauler in Halo 3. Next up we have the Flat Cannon. And it's pretty much like a fuel rod, but it's actually called a flat cannon. And in later Halo games, it's always been called the flat cannon, really. So this is probably an early prototype version of the flat cannon. Next up, we have the flamethrower. Now, Halo did have a flamethrower eventually, but this is kind of an earlier prototype version of the flamethrower. And I like the effect more than the actual version. That's a really cool flamethrower effect compared to the final version that we got in the PC version of Halo 1. And I mean, the Xbox version did have a cut flamethrower in it, and it was kind of closer to this one, but it was never actually in the final, it wasn't part of the final game. Next up we have a fuel rod gun. This is like the flat cannon, but this one's actually called the fuel rod gun in the tags and the game files. Next up we have the gravity wrench. This is another interesting weapon. No alt fire modes, but it is a charge weapon. So you do charge it up, and it's almost it looks like a plasma pistol charge in third person from other players' perspective. And it fires out a really powerful shot once you charge it. In fact, it's almost like a tank round blast there. Next up we have the Machete. In fact, there's two versions of the Machete. But it's usable just like the energy sword, and it is an actual melee weapon that does do damage. And it's actually pretty deadly too. The next version is the 99 Mac version, probably from the Macworld demo, and it's it's pretty much the same. It just appearance is slightly different than the other version. Next up we have the microwave gun. I kind of wonder if this is kind of like similar to the gravity rifle, but it's kind of looks kind of similar in some ways, but this is what it does. Next up we have the missile launcher, not a rocket launcher. This is actually called a missile launcher, and it's I mean it looks like a pretty like realistic like, you know, rocket launcher, like compared to like today's. And now we have the needler, the OOE3 needler, and it's just visually it's different. Functionally it's very similar to the final version. Now we have the particle beam. This is actually more like a beam rifle that we see in Halo 2. It's in first person. There's no model in first person, but it does pretty much work. It has a scope as well, and it's just pretty much like a beam rifle that we see in Halo 2. I'm guessing the beam rifle was cut from Halo 1, but it came back in Halo 2. Next we have the particle beam there, and that was like another variant of the particle beam. So here we have the pistol. It's just called pistol. It's the OOE3 pistol, and yeah, it works. It has a really huge, like, you can scope in a lot with that pistol. This one here is in third person this time, unlike the other one. This is the Mac version of it, and it's well, that's basically it. No crazy scope on this one, but it does have a laser sight that I can use. The laser sight's a secondary fire, and even like other players can see you using the laser sight on them. In fact, I don't think any weapons had laser sights on them until like Halo 2 Vista with the cut silence SMG, which was included in the old Halo 2 Vista modules. But the other pistols are all pretty similar. A lot of them do have laser sights as well. Next up we have the plasma pistol, the 99 Mac version. This plasma pistol actually, it actually has a charge function, and when you charge it, it kind of fires like a bunch of plasma rifle shots, plasma pistol shots, that kind of like almost like a little plasma pistol shotgun. Next up we have the plasma rifle, the OOE3 version of the plasma rifle, and we actually have quite a few plasma rifle variants. So the plasma rifle, I don't believe it has a secondary fire mode or anything like that. At least I couldn't get anything to happen. But the plasma rifle, all these variants are all actually, wait, it does have a secondary fire version. My bad. It's basically like almost like a wraith mortar there. But yeah, the rest of the plasma rifles are all pretty similar. This one does not have a charge fire. In fact, this one is just like the final version, but visually it's a little bit different. And I think this is the one that shows up in anniversary graphics as well. But in anniversary graphics, it was just a regular plasma rifle. Or it might have been this one as well. I don't remember exactly which one it was that showed up. But yeah, these are all... The rest of these plasma rifles are all... No, this one has a charged one. You can see what it looks like in first person as well. So each one is a little bit different. Some of them have charges, some of them don't. Just, yeah, I just didn't remember which ones did or not. But this one does as well, and this one's also third person. A couple of them, as you saw, were in first person. Next up we have the rocket launcher. And this one's different than the missile launcher, but this one is pretty much the earlier version of the Spanker rocket. And you can even see it's pretty much like an early, like a prototype version almost. Next up we have a few variants of the shotgun. This one's the OOE3 version. This one's more like the final version of the shotgun. This next one's like a mini shotgun. It's not like a double barrel or anything. It does have like 5 shots to it, but it looks like a mini one. And it might be more powerful. I'm not entirely sure. Next up we have the 99E3 shotgun, and this one is also like a 5-round shotgun, and it looks like a smaller version as well from the final version. And then here we have the 99 Mac shotgun, and again another 5-round shotgun. So that's it for the shotguns. Next up we have a few variants of the SMG. We didn't get any SMG weapons until Halo 2, and in Halo 2 we got dual wield as well, but obviously these can't be dual wielded, but these are, you know, unreleased SMGs. So again, the SMG concept cut from Halo 1 didn't get realized again until Halo 2. So next up we have the 99E3 SMG. And each of these are a little bit different from each other. Some of them, they do have secondary fire modes. Like I have full auto and burst fire modes, so that's what I'm doing there. That's not me firing in burst. That's actually like the weapon itself. It's in burst mode. So all the SMGs have that capability. Next up, we have the sniper rifles, and we have a few of them as well. The first one's the OO-E3 sniper. This one is in first person, and it has an interesting reticle on it. In fact, the whole HUD is a little bit different from the final version. But you can scope in quite a bit with it as well. When you scope in, the HUD changes too. This next sniper rifle is the 99E3 sniper. No first-person model, but it does have a different HUD. In fact, this one kind of reminds me of the Flex Fire sniper. This is like a single fire sniper, so actually never mind. It's a little different than the Flex Fire sniper from Halo Infinite. But next up we have the 99 Mac sniper rifle, and this is another single fire one. And the last two weapons we have are the Speargun. The Speargun never came back in any Halo game, but it is interesting. It's it fires, it sticks into something, and then it explodes. Kind of like the torque bow in Gears of War, but visually different. Here's the 99 Max Speargun. Visually different, but everything else is the same. So there you guys have it. Those are all the new unreleased weapons from the Digsite team for Halo 1 on MCC. Or more specifically, that are included in the separate special Digsite folder in the Halo 1 mod tools for MCC on PC. It would have been great if these were on Xbox, but unfortunately, PC only for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and found it to be interesting. If you did, make sure to leave a like, leave thoughts and comments. Anything else we check out a link to, just let me know in the comments down below. But make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys!